both hit the ground and rolled down the hill in a tangle of arms and legs. They came to a rest by the well, and Molly lay in the grass, catching her breath for a few seconds before realizing she was on top of the other girl. "You okay under there, Orla?" Molly asked, unable to stifle a giggle. "I win!" A small arm poked out from beneath her, raising a fist in victory. "Sometimes it hurts to win." Laughing, Molly slid aside and freed her friend. Orla wiped her grass-stained hands on her gingham dress as another girl, much taller, with a pointy nose and unruly hair, came running down the hill, laughing. "I tagged her, Lottie!" Orla crowed. Lottie snorted. "You know that tagging is usually done just with the hands, right?" "Since when do I do things usual?" the petite girl said proudly. "We should hire you out to a rodeo show in need of a bull," Molly said, helping her up. Lottie gave Molly a playful shove. "You're it this time," she said. "Okay," said Molly, "but I would advise against hiding in the woodbin unless you don't mind spiders in your—" She trailed off as she noticed a wagon coming up the road. "Captain Lee's back from town," Molly said, running off. "He's gonna have the mail." "Wait!" Lottie shouted. "Spiders in your what? You gotta finish that sentence." "Yeah, and I want to know about that rodeo bull thing," Orla added. "Is that a real job? 'Cause I could see myself doing that." Molly ran up and around the front of the barn, passing the open front doors and giving a cheerful wave to her mother and her best friend, who were hard at work inside. Cassandra Pepper, the unsung genius inventor, was back to doing what she did best, creating astonishingly imaginative and useful machines. And Molly's more brother than friend, Emmett Lee, was working as Cassandra's apprentice, and looking more confident than Molly had ever seen him. Together, the two were putting the finishing touches on her mother's Daedalus chariot, a new flying machine to replace the one that had been stolen by their arch-enemy, the diabolical madman Ambrose Rector. Cassandra, soldering wires in grease-smeared coveralls, looked up, waved, and proudly flashed the medallion that she wore on a chain around her neck. It wasn't really a medallion. It was the lid to a pickle jar. But Molly had etched the words, "World's Greatest Inventor," into it as a gift for her. Emmett, balanced on a stepladder to oil the chariot's spinning overhead propeller, flashed Molly a smile as well. Seeing those two so happy, realizing their mutual dreams of being inventors, gave her warm tingles, the good kind of tingles, not the kind caused by a spider up your nose. The horse neighed as Captain Lee's wagon pulled up to the hitching post by the little yellow house. Molly bounded onto the porch and threw herself into one of the comfy rocking chairs that Cassandra had designed to sway in smooth, silent, fluid motion. She glanced around at the vibrant paint that she still couldn't believe they'd talked Captain Lee into letting them use, at the adorable hummingbirds hovering around the feeder that Emmett had installed, at the window to her very own bedroom. Molly had never thought she'd be able to live this way. Coming here was something she did for the others, she told herself, an act of self-sacrifice. But she could no longer deny that it was pretty darn nice, even if part of her wished it wasn't. Captain Wendell Lee hopped down from the wagon with a wave and a smile. Molly wondered if it was still weird for Emmett to no longer be an orphan, after believing he was for so many years. But ever since they'd rescued his father from that cavern in Antarctica the prior year, Emmett was now just a half-orphan, like Molly. Bonding over their missing parents had been one of the things that initially brought Molly and Emmett together as friends. But Molly always felt worse for Emmett, because she at least had fond memories of her father, who'd been such a big part of her life for her first 9 years. But Emmett's mother had died giving birth to him back in China.